Hello everybody, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. In our last stream, we interviewed the Hardy Boys. Got a little bit of information. They were very open about killing that guy, hanging him up on that tree. But, we have to find out which one led the night, and they are, of course, pulling some old school tricks to try and get us from arresting one of them. And it's pretty hard when we're not actually the law in the land to take down 7 pretty tough union boys. And apparently an 8th who's a girl that we haven't met. But after being kind of shut out from them and failing to jump at trying to get my coat, we stumbled across the bookstore and a very spiritual lady who we have convinced to let us try and exorcise her establishment of some sort of anti-capitalist ghost. So we're gonna get back to that, open up this curtain, and see what's behind the door.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
Good evening, the Jukashu. It is great to see you two, hun. So I take it you have played this game. This is my first playthrough and I am loving it so far.
Oh!
A terrified small O escapes from Plaisance as she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hand. Oh, don't worry, dear. I will find out what this ghost is doing. There's a lot of charms on that door. Ghostly silhouettes of hair dryers. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Looks like Guillaume de Million, that hair poster. I don't need my bag equipped. I don't think I'm gonna find any bottles to deposit. This might help, though.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Haven't actually played it, but you saw it a few weeks back and thought it was one of the cleverest games you've seen in a while. It really is, like, very, very clever. Definitely has a lot to say, too. And, yeah, no, I'm really liking it. I'm playing my guy as kind of like a slightly bumbling, but still slightly brainy and with it, really drunk disco star super cop. That's the approach I'm taking. He's a bit of an art cop. He may be a bit of a commie. He may be a bit of a liberal. Maybe a bit of a moralist. Somehow a point of fascism snuck in there somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe from a bad joke and the game just ticked it up as like, oh, you're being fascist cop. But, yeah. Still not sure if I'm down with the commies or if I'm down with the liberals myself and talking to a set of each of them now. Well, Not really me with a badge. As part of my drunken stupor, I lost my badge and my gun. So one of the quests I have is to try and find my badge. But we should, well, we could on... Yeah, see, I didn't have a... Yeah. I don't need to do that. What the hell, why not? We have the key. Let's see what happens.
Only an echo. No one is there.
I will also give this game credit for another thing, the Jew Kashu. I've been playing probably for about... Oh god, I'd have to say I've probably logged about 12 hours into this game so far. I have not once entered combat. And it has been thoroughly entertaining, engaging, and in some points kind of tense the entire way through. It is a great game. I can see why everyone said it was kind of the sleeper game of the year for 2019.
A hollowed out dark echo.
Well, let's see what's
After
behind there.
exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
Kim, maybe you should go first. No, we're not doing that. I'm brave enough. I talked this woman into thinking that I'm some kind of paranormal investigator. I should go and paranormal investigate myself. Come on, Kim. Sally forth. Yes, I do have a misplaced badge. Maybe I'll find it. Maybe it's going to be in the cloak if I can actually succeed in the roll to jump to it. You have anything to say new since we're here, Kim? It's an adventure. It's the netherworld, beyond the veil. It looks like a gym to me. That is obviously the boring answer. I think since I've been going kind of hard on this, we're gonna, yeah.
No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark.
Good thing I have this flashlight shining right in your face, Kim.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages? Or let's just keep going. I'm sure it's just a regular abandoned house. Nothing mysterious here. Nah. My horrible necktie would agree with me on this, I think.
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
Oh, come on, Kim. We've been having these supernatural talks the entire time. I know you've been jokey about it, but I kind of believe I can do it. I'm a recovering enough alcoholic to believe. Sand is dripping from a punching bag. Smells like leather and sweat. Poster says citrus, fortis. The rest is worn off. A shot put ball. I wonder if that is a proper size of a boule that I could use for that other quest. Ball for playing shot put, a favorite pastime of elderly gentlemen. You feel like you should hold on to this and make good use of it. Sell it. Such beautiful old school sports equipment would be a sin. That, and I think it's only worth like 50 centimas. That's what they're called, centimas. It's real in centimas. No, it's worth $4.50. Worn out wall bars. They look unsafe. Ooh.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter? No, you're not. Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars on the barbell. Legendary. No. Hell no. Well, maybe. We'll see. I can always save. It's a white check.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? Should be a felony. Actually, I don't really care about safety hazards. No.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Just out of curiosity.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master.
Thought so. Yup.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form. See? See? This place is cursed.
Seems I'm a little out of shape, or maybe these gloves just suck. Whatever. Weightlifting is for the intellectually impaired, anyway. Oh, I think the gloves might suck.
Proper weightlifting gloves would definitely afford a better grip.
Right. I deserved that. I'm gonna let that slide. Is there nothing else here? Oh. Hallways blocked by old window panes and debris. Discus hernia. Yeah. I'm living with that hernia. I jumped back and hurt myself. A large demijohn full of strange liquid, now creepy music. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. What's that? Looks like a mannequin. Mannequin torso, strange and yellow color. I'm gonna hang on to that skill point for now. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. Great movie. Steel rotor blades bearing a Slipstream logo. Skis with a Slipstream painted laminated top. Printed on the laminated top layer. Ooh. What's this? Production schedule. Filament memory. The cube-like crisscross of filament feels oddly fragile in your hand. Its intricate structure covered in dust. Silver tape on the side reads production schedule note. This filament contains information that can be read using a radio computer. Okay. Oh, there's something here. Ooh, money. Where are the clothes it used to display? Oh, the mannequin on the table, I guess. Oh, wait. No. Ooh, more money.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
But where would we mount you? This is the question, the Jew Kashu. I mean, I'd happily stuff you, but where could we mount you? Not Boca Raton. Too many Republicans there. Can't mount anyone there. Anyway.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
sound surprised and a bit cautious.
But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
All right, we're also looking for a fridge to store the corpse that I stole my boots from.
On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers.
Think I should turn it on?
Maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition, officer.
Maybe we will find a fridge in here after all. Sure, let's turn it
The
on.
machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
No, that is not too political of a joke. This game is a political joke in and of itself, or at least a satire and critique on politics. But, it would not be the first time I have mounted a Jew onto a cross and done things. This is becoming quite an R-rated stream.
The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment.
Sure.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good morning. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
Why did you call me a fortress accident? What are you, a machine? Or are you alive? Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Do you have any other information about this computer?
One moment.
Well, the Duke of Shoe, some things you might need to fantasize about. But let's just say, though there might not have been nails and thorns, there were definitely whips involved.
Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
Interesting. So conceptual. And what's that? This interactive call-in radio game?
Any other questions?
You hear her ask when the connection finally improves. Are you a machine or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. Now please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Yvonne, my partner, tells me that you're here because radio computer guys are all paranoid. Okay, but where are you? How do you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian repeater station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
Yes, the game, indeed. She is surrounded by a wall of radios. She is a switchboard operator at the Insulindian repeater station.
Now please tell me the reason for your call, Fortress Accident.
Well, what's the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
Ah, right. Thanks for the explanation. Well, we already knew what it was. I mean, when we picked it up, it said what it was, so.
That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core?
Yes.
Good. Please repeat the password.
This is the police. Please open this thing. Password? I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint? Oh god. Yeah, what the fuck? Why not? Give me a hint.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Well, this is the police, so open this thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for Fortress Accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
The voice in the machine asks again. She sounds cold in the damp air.
Still no. Received.
Fine.
I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress Accident, is there anything else I can do for you today?
Nah, that's all for now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
I don't know. I'm hoping we can score a free copy of this Fortress Accident offer, or whatever games they were making on.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. Nothing happens.
Probably need to have the password.
The filament slides out of its glowing nest. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic.
Might be the skis on what was printed on the skis in the other room. But it also could be on this board.
Translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin.
I don't know. I don't think I'm ready to be elf cop yet. I'm already disco super cop and art cop.
One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Examine the welkin. This might be important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says all non-Welkin races will be purged.
Huh.
The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
I guess that would be, Varahamira.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures.
Why would anyone spend so much time on this? Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions. One of them is a Welkin supremacist. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the Welkins. I like number 3. Drama is great. Like, all the different side aspects of my mind are great. I wish I had a little bit more in physique, because I did roll a physique-heavy character off-stream, and Half-Light is fucking hilarious, too.
Mm-hmm. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
The lieutenant nods at Welkin's facial hair.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
No, yeah, it's game developers, man. This may very well be the tomb of CD Projekt Red. Why would anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for a game.
Well, this world was very, like, lovingly crafted, I will say. Kim. And a lot of time went into you, so. This has been educational. Let's move on.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or if he's actually got a bit of admiration there, or a bit of both.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow.
As a failed psychology student, you adore that every stat in your mind is a figment of your mind body. No, it really is one of the best parts of this game, and the guy they got to narrate everything in the final cut, like, God, this man could, like, sing me a lullaby, I swear. Then again, he is a jazz singer, from what I know, so definitely he could sing me anything he wants. Anyway.
Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world.
Look, electrochemistry, I know I already did all the morphine that I might have had. We'll get more, don't worry. Electrochemistry likes drugs.
A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Heavy lore. Let's see this schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal.
It really is marvelous, I agree. The Jew Kashu, great voice acting all around.
Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
Keep reading. What happened?
As time goes on, The numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
So I guess that's when Fortress Accident went bankrupt.
Looks like they didn't make it.
Lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details." The handwriting
the
is
notes.
only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, Tune Out, Wirral Untethered, and Heat Death of the Universe.
Those might be the passwords.
The full text reads, "Heat Death of the Universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient.
Oh, electrochemistry will come up for will ask for drugs at the weirdest time. Great one was like early on, you have a conversation with electrochemistry. It's like, do you see that dried, day-old stain of drop of spilled rum on the bar counter? You should lick it. You should lick it right now. I'm not playing that much of an alcoholic, though, so I did not lick it, but it was a great conversation to have with my mind.
A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
Hold on. How do I know what Kedron mosaic tiles are supposed to look like? Because I have good encyclopedia. That's probably why.
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
So then what are we looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
So we're dealing with something medical here. This must be an elaborate piece of art. Of course, narrow your eyes. The anatomy of the curse.
Perhaps. The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants.
Wait, who's the Game Master?
Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency.
If it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Lieutenant leads closer, his finger tracking the maddening rhizome. Why do you say that anyway, Kim?
The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else? Squinted the lines.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Someone tried to exorcise the curse using technology. Looks like an undercover counterintelligence program. It's just a failed business. The only question is, what the hell were they making? Yeah, really, at this point, like, even I'm done playing at this The Curse technology. But then again, like, the whole point is it's a curse on businesses that move in here and are doomed to fail. So maybe someone did try to exercise the curse using technology. Yeah.
No, that's not it. I think
Lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands.
it looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Well, thankfully, good people at Zaum found a way to make it work on PC.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
How are they planning to do that? Has anyone ever done that before? And this was a role-playing game? Well, what do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
Is this the developers of Disco Elysium asking for money so they could make a high fantasy role-playing game? If so, I would say to anyone watching who hasn't already, give these guys your money. This game is worth it. It's great. How are they planning to
Through
do
call-in
this?
stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little hooked.
Good. So, Kim, you seem to know a little bit about this nerdy stuff. I'm the disco super cop. I ain't no nerd, but you're the one in glasses. Has anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but
Lieutenant tilts his head, thinking. They were insane if they thought they could do this. It was just a play to cheat money out of their investors' pockets. The curse got them. See no other explanation. I really am this game's Shaggy. Somehow a savant at solving things, but bumbling and... Well, actually, no, I'm not very terrified. I am Raphael Ambrosius Clouseau. Not Gusteau, Clouseau. The world is cold and lonely. This would only keep it company. Let's finish it. Do we have any money? Let's give them more money so they can finish it and make it even bigger. They're gone. I'm not that much of a dope. Yeah, let's go Shaggy response.
ah, yes, the doom of bad business practices.
The lieutenant looks around the derelict room. The pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Scribbled across a notebook, developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. Oh, this leads me out. I wanted to go back and see if maybe I had found the thing. This game is actually, yes, pretty much all been dialogue so far. I have not gotten into any combat. Then again, I'm also playing a character who put no points in the strength stat. So that might have something to do with it. Ooh, money. I did take damage trying and failing to lift a barbell earlier, though. Yes, apparently there is over 1 million words in the game script. Multiple endings, Lots of different ways that the conversations can go. It's still very engaging. Like, I'm in
Tiles
love
on the
with this
cube
game.
are still smoldering,
And
casting the framework in a soft glow.
well,
Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
if like basically any of the indication of what I usually play is like, usually I play combat heavy games, and this has me absolutely enthralled. It's just a great story. Sure, let's
Like a
see if we
smooth draw,
found that
the
password.
filament slides
that
into
password.
place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
Let's try this password for the production schedule again.
Good. Please repeat the password.
No, I haven't found it yet.
Don't worry. Passwords.
Fortress accident. Is there? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the frame. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
There's no way I can look at this thing further, is there? No. Did I miss anything in here before moving on? Oh, whoa. There's this whole part.
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. This must be where the entity lives.
Sure, let's try.
What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Still nothing. No one's home. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now. If this is really an entrance to the chimney, then there must be a furnace somewhere as well. Maybe there's another way to get in.
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things?
Like, really, this is the first random thing you've seen me attack, Kim. When I had the option to pet or kick the trash bin outside, I pet it. Need to find this malignant entity, Kim. This is the chimney. This is non-random. This is significant. I want to see what's on the other side. Can try. Blow gently on your bruised knuckles. You know what? I'm gonna go humble for a second. That kind of hurt.
Thanks. In any case, there's no way we can get in right now. Let's investigate further.
Ooh. Oh, another postcard. Floorboards creak. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Oh, this is the other side of all those windows. Is there nothing else around here? Whoa.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here.
I don't get it.
Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other.
The question is, which did they start with and which did they pivot to? What a strange leap of imagination. And yet they failed. How sad, finished thought. That's just speculation. We don't know anything for sure. Yeah, which did they pivot
That's
to?
a good question. Reality is ruthless.
Okay. Nothing else here. Nope. Alright, so let's go out that back door and see if we can find anything there. Maybe a way to this chimney. Whoa. Hey, a fridge!
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
What is this thing? Looks like a giant ice bear.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Take the note from the door. Examine one of the ice cream wrappers.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
One can never have enough fridge magnets, after all.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
Well, this fridge does look perfect for our corpse, so that was a lucky find.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is big enough. And cold enough too.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can. Your visual confirms you could fit 2 more bodies in the ice bear fridge.
Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
Okay, let's do this.
The body
Clap your hands.
is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the basement, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
The postcards actually seem to just be sellable items that you cashew. Also, yes, as a reference of how stinky that corpse is, it was hanging in a tree for 7 days before I shot it down successfully, and has been rotting on the ground for an 8th day. But we finally got it into a fridge and out of the back of the hostel.
Beautiful. A dead body in an ice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
Really? You think this is good work?
No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in an ice bear fridge. This story does not leave this room.
Oh, Kim, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not really. I think this is a glorious achievement and people need to hear about it. We did our best with the means at our disposal. Not proud of it either, but we did find a fridge. This isn't police work, Kim. It's art. We're artists, and this was our vision. Yeah. Art cop. Let's do it.
If I were an artist, this would certainly not be my vision. I would be much, much more conservative in my work.
He's right. His work would be much more formal.
At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection, under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Actually, this really is a good question. What is a giant ice bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
Lieutenant reaches for one of the wrappers. He studies it in the light. So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper-carnivore?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice.
It's a curse, I'm telling you.
What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The lieutenant points at the red snaky cable running from the fridge. This truly is a capitalist's curse.
The electricity bill must be catastrophic. On the other hand, it did help us with a certain corpse situation.
Lucky us.
Alright. Tell me something now, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
How do you like it in the fridge?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Corpulangelo.
Okay, you don't really have anything new.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
I kinda did already, so we'll see if I do again. Whew, already at another level, too. Yeah, I do want to put it in savoir-faire, just because it'll make that roll to get the cloak easier. And I think the next point is going into an extra thought slot. Unless, like, there has to be... Forget requirement. You do not have enough... So you need to pay a skill point to forget a thought to put a new one into an existing slot. So yeah, I think I'll just be unlocking the next set of slots. But I do need to put more into this stuff. Knick-knack stand. Interesting. Wall collapsed and it's inaccessible now. Ice cream maker defrosted and unplugged. Flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Someone has stuck a busted guns through beneath the ceiling.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Look, there's a hole here in the wall.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
I do.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles,
Are
Kim.
these any good?
It's a good question. I did lose my gun as well as my badge, so finding that again would be really nice.
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
Really? This one does look nice.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
Good thing I have high hand-eye coordination, because I am actually good with guns. What does this mean, rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
I figured he would.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Sunlight has made this postcard almost completely sepia-toned. Midtown traffic passes overhead. The ghosts of skyscrapers disappear into a beige midday mist. Vapor rising from the delta on which the district was built, the postcard is prepaid. Broken Belle McGrave from ages past. It's a 4-shot bolt-action military rifle with a wooden frame. Wonder if I might be able to fix it, or maybe I could try selling it to the pawnbroker. That's a good question. Handwritten note from the fridge.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
Yeah, actually, the Jukashu finding a place to hide that body was kind of an optional quest. I could have sent it away at any time. That also does send Kim away from you for 1 day, though. So I opted. I was gonna send it out around when Kim generally kind of leaves you to go to sleep anyway. But I wanted to keep it around so I could get my perception up a little bit. Maybe get that roll to learn something even more about it. Done.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Read the note.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe.
Would the illiterate ginger kid be Kuno, perhaps?
You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Swaff.
Oh, okay. We don't need to... Who's the illiterate ginger kid? I'm guessing it's Kuno.
Really? You don't have a single guess?
You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
Wonder who wrote that note.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Maybe they had to leave in a hurry? Maybe it's because of the entity.
That's implausible.
Do you have any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be? We already passed it, actually. I'm pretty sure I know where it is. I thought this was it. Maybe this one's it. A frozen ice cream maker that is still running.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
No. Revachol, if anything, Revachol is somewhere in, I would place it somewhere, if this was, actual real-world geography. somewhere above, just above France, maybe. Actually, it's coastal, so it could... parts of... It's very European, though. Try to crack open the lid.
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here.
Luckily, I have one.
If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective.
Equip the pry bar by going to the Tools tab in your inventory. From there, you can
Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur. What better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fat and sugar? This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Pry bar not strong enough? Okay.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
It's black. It's not like it's the red one. Because black is the color of immeasurable cosmos.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
So how do I reinforce the pry bar? Intercom wires running into the breaker box. Ooh, hello. Insane mesh tank top. +1 drama, clinically insane, no minuses. Where did you even get that one? No, really? Who put that into the drawer? No further comments. Wear at your own risk. Yeah, I'll wear it. I no longer have -1 to suggestion because my armpits no longer reek of piss. I can also equip that when I want to try and do the pry bar thing. There's one more thing to check.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Kim, what is this thing? Is it a furnace? I'm not kicking this one.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs. The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying, or what's producing them.
What are you doing?
I'm hallucinating, or maybe it's the entity. I hear the murderer of the hanged man talking. Not sure, Kim. I think I can hear someone talking upstairs. Yeah, why not? Let's fuck with Kim a bit. This whole quest has been kind of fucking with
Wait,
Kim.
really? Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs.
+1, wet your whistle. I guess because I've had a drink today or something? I can make that better, that roll better. The voices I heard, maybe it's the malignant entity. Plaisance says it lives in the chimney.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. But malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
Always has to be the skeptic, this man.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney.
He opens the door and gingerly peeks inside.
No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
+1 to physical instrument. Can I get any other +1s to physical instrument through here? No.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello?
Aha! You're a woman's voice answer, huh?
you've awakened the entity.
It's the police! Who's this? I summon the ghost of this doomed commercial area. Answer me, spirit!
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
Nice!
After you, officer.
See, sometimes it's worth it to have a little drink. Where does this lead, though? Oh! Really? Well, that kind of keeps me from needing to do something I was planning to do earlier, and it gives me a much easier route back to here for when I find something to properly open it with. Also. Actually, I don't think I need anything in my other hand right now. tray is full of dice. Colorful polyhedral dice. Hundreds of them. Oh, she might be the last game developer. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice.
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
She taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Ah. Hold on. What do you mean by milieus? Because hold on doesn't advance the plot or anything.
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
Ah. She pats the headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Yep, we have found the Die Dragon Horde. Why are you asking me about dice? Move on. No. Must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Well, the dice do hate me in this game, so if you can make me dice that hate me less, that would be really nice.
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Sure, I like role-playing games and I need some dice. Maybe, I'm not really sure why I'm here. No, I was looking for something else. Squint your eyes mysteriously. Answers. I'm not interested in buying dice right now. I'm a police officer and I need to ask you some questions.
Answers? How strange. These days people only come to me for dice and role-playing games. I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead and ask.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shells like stalagmites.
I want a D100 weighted for natural 100s. As a novelty piece, not to actually use. I'm at least nice about that. Is that a row of video games under that one lamp? Maybe. No, it's probably books.
No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
Okay. What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
And you never took your eyes off the work to look out the window?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
Do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession. making dice for people. But I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
I can dig that, but what do you mean by all this daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
I see. Well, thank you for your answers.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
How did you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items.
Well, sure. Since we're here, make me a die.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Do you know the Whirl Unterterd setting? I want to die of that. Do you have any cursed dice? Tell me about your most extraordinary die. Don't actually know what die I want. Normal die for me, I'm very regular. Want something... I'm looking for something to help me with my work.
What do you mean by cursed?
Abracadabra, perished like this world. As cursed as my life, I don't feel like his life is cursed. He's just bumbling and really drunk all the time. So yeah, as cursed as this commercial area.
Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die.
It's a deal.
Great, see you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
She takes a small notebook from her table and writes something down. Where are we anyway? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Oh, really? That's cool. I did not realize that, the Jew Kashu. That one flew over my head.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
There was a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar. Found the building's intercom, but it's not working. Ah, yeah, the intercom that I never checked that would have probably led to all of those dead businesses.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She closes her eyes as some remnant of a memory lights up her face.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw 2 of them get into fisticuffs over Whirl. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean liberal? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She looks at the hallway as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind her curtains on a cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on.
Interesting.
In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic. And to show up to work on time.
Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult. Especially if you've been drinking.
Hey, I'm already drinking on the job. It's only 1:30 in the afternoon on this day, too. It's too bad. I've supported them. The project looked great. Well, showing up to work on time is incredibly hard. You're right. They should have just tried harder. They had everything they needed to succeed. Meh.
And so is producing something extraordinary.
Her eyes wander to the shelves full of die prototypes and discarded models.
Anything else?
What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right?
Oh, all the broken windows and the... yeah.
Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milieu. Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
What's a snuff milieu? My encyclopedia apparently had a success that was not a success because it didn't know.
It's a sub-rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world. What does she mean to get off on it?
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Found creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Wait, insect rights activists? I didn't know insects had any rights. Or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings.
Vanishing talisman blurring. Ah, okay, I see what you mean now. I get it. And yes, electrochemistry is probably one of my favorite parts of our hero's brain, too.
And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
But insects don't have any brains or feelings. They got what they deserved. Making clothes out of beetle wings is a terrible idea. I'm glad that someone took care of the little guys. I like insects. Nod. The cryptozoologist wife would be happy with that answer, but like seriously, it's like that's just bad art. Like you need so many, and like it just seems like it would be very brittle to me. Like it's a terrible idea.
At least it had some spark to it. Most young designers just combine lace with leather and call it original.
She shifts in her simple workwear shirt.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else?
Someone makes stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
But what drugs exactly?
I need to know what drugs he was doing for my police report.
He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Eventually, they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell was awful.
Oh, sounds like fun. No, chitin is like insect carapaces, the Jukashu, kind of like the exoskeleton armor of an insect is usually referred to as chitin or chitinous. And I don't drink that much. Not nearly as much as Capo here. Just drink when I'm soulsing, because it's fun. Makes it more challenging.
Even you can probably do better than that.
You'd be surprised, electrochemistry. I was rocking around, like, up until I found that mesh shirt with a shirt that's armpits smelled like piss. And my disco flare pants that I was wearing for a while had like obvious cum and piss stains all over them, according to the description. So, really, electrochemistry, I think you give me too much credit, good sir. But now maybe we can find out which came first, the rotor blades or the skis.
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
She rests her chin in her hands with an impish smile.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
What do these transmissions say? That's illegal, running off with the company's money like that. Why hasn't he been arrested?
Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything extraordinary in business. Besides, Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around.
What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
And who was Artemitep?
A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club.
Kuno? Who's Kuno?
He's sort of the king around here. He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
She looks out the window. It's oddly quiet out there at the moment.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
So how did the community project work out? Judging from the kids I've met so far, didn't really work, did it? Yeah, the two kids I've met so far have been fucking evil little gremlins.
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse, At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
You should have known it.
Oh god, don't make me go and snort the sand below the punching bag electrochemistry, please.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
Alright. I didn't see anything about a hair salon when I was looking around.
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? Customers should have been more open-minded.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
She tucks a strand of hair under the headscarf.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
No pun intended.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
Alright, what about the other ideas?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Oh, like the girl at Freet.
Fritta does the same thing.
I know a girl just like that. She works in Freet as a cashier, and she's not particularly friendly. What did they expect? 20 cents per hour is dog's pay. I'm surprised they showed up to work at all. That's an award-winning idea. How else do you choose people around here? Nah, I agree. 20 cents, like, really low.
Oh, but they did. They did show up to work, and not alone. There were also acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand. And they already had the bear.
She closes her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about this bear?
The bear.
She repeats, pressing her thumbs into her temples like trying to suppress a headache. Didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
It's the market doing its job. Sure, the bear was doing its best. The bear was scary. Every time I saw that bear, I felt scared, like he could come alive any moment now. No, I'm sure the bear was doing its best.
Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't. Doing his best, I mean.
How come? Was it the drugged up taxidermist you told me about?
He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
I'm guessing it is the same guy.
Sounds cool.
It's a vision beast.
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
So basically it's my electrochemistry then.
Maybe this wise and noble beast can guide you toward those amphetamines you've been craving. The horrific necktie tightens around your neck, strangely excited. But it doesn't feel particularly fun this time around.
Hey, do you think that vision beast could guide me to... Not now, you beast! Stop suffocating me!
What?
Do you ever feel like your vision beast is trying to blackmail the fun out of you?
No, officer. I don't have a vision beast. Normal people don't have vision beasts. Only drug-addled madmen like the taxidermists do.
Of course they don't. I'm a normal person. I don't have a vision beast. What about horrific neckties? Do normal people have horrific neckties?
Neckties? I guess they do sometimes, officer. But I don't understand how it's relevant to our discussion.
Her eyes move to the piss-colored cloth tied around your neck.
Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
She seems almost sad finishing the story. Some dust beams swirl in the afternoon air. Her eyes follow it idly.
Little sparkling embers under the window.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
I'm pretty sure I can guess at why the intercom isn't working. I mean, this building looks like it has not been maintained.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
So you're telling me that you have a doorbell there? Which one?
The one with an empty name card. It's the last one in the list. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
A few more questions about the
Sure,
building.
I'm listening. Good.
Actually,
I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
I've heard this place is cursed. Do you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Wait, then how do you explain all those companies then? Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced the place is swarming with malicious energies.
It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Plaisance is a wise woman. Semene's trinkets protecting her against the curse. Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going. The curse is just biding its time before it strikes again. Sooner or later, everyone will fail, even her. I don't know. Yeah.
Alright, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Hold on. Whirling is part of the doomed commercial area? Yes, but it's still a separate building. The malicious energies can't reach there. No, the Whirling isn't doing well either. Its waitress just took off, and customers have trouble paying bills.
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East of the Commerce Central project. And then there is me.
She sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there, scattered from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
Plaisance thinks it's because you're the source of it, a malignant entity. It's because you're competent, dedicated to your craft. Curse doesn't affect people like you. The curse will get you, I have no doubt about it. It just doesn't care about the earthly time frames. I'll be the first to admit that there are many inconsistencies in this so-called curse. I think I like that one. Flatter her. Maybe she'll give me a better price on the die.
What, so the curse only affects people with poor work ethics? What you're describing isn't a curse. It's capitalism.
Capitalism is the curse, lady.
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
I think it might still be you that's causing this. Starting to see that there is no curse. Only business decisions and natural market fluctuations. Honestly, I'm still not sure. This world is a puzzling place. Yeah, no, I really don't. I don't get a bad vibe from her at all. Inland Empire, I think you might have this one wrong.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
Damn. Do I?
I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure. What do you want to know? Sure, I'm listening.
Alright, we're done with her.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Report back to Plaisance about your findings. Pick up dice from the dice maker. Filed at 13:21, 8 hours from then, so pick it up around 11 o'clock. Gotcha. Actual art degree, -1 perception. Yeah, it's time to go for actual art degree for now.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
The dark sarcophagus. Pause dramatically.
Yes, yes. How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
It was a charnel house of failed business enterprises, leeching life energy from this bookstore. Honestly, a dump. Nothing to see there, just a heap of garbage. Someone should let the sunshine in. I'm in no position to give personal opinions. No, we're going with number one.
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us. But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Neha, and she is a novelty dice maker. A few more questions about the curse.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits. Yes, the Simonees are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful. Lesser wards simply won't do here.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
She's not a sorceress or some malicious entity. She's a businesswoman like you. No, ma'am, I have felt her aura. She is not the one to blame for this curse. She may be involved, but I don't have a way to question the malignant entity further. No, she is not to blame for this curse.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire. You've come this far. You know how to end it. There is an entity behind the entity.
She says there is no curse because there are too many inconsistencies. She says it's just capitalism. Bankruptcy is a quirk of our economic system. Lie. The source is that in the taxidermist's shop, he became involved in arts darker than taxidermy and brought the void spirits down upon this world. Honestly, I don't have an answer yet. There are still leads that need to be followed, like this strange radio computer thing. There's another entity, more malignant, pulling the strings in Martinez. Perhaps in my travels, I will cross paths with it. You know what? Yeah, let's see how this goes.
Oh, how horrid! I knew something wasn't right about that place. Tell me, did you find a way to break the curse?
Yes, I revitalized the secret methods of the remote viewers division. Yes, I performed the ancient Seminese dispelling rites. This commercial area is doomed no more. Yes, I called upon the spirit of Guillaume de Millon to banish the curse in a flash of disco brilliance. That is totally going to be my answer, actually. Yeah, I dispooked it. The curse is definitely gone.
Guillaume le Million? The singer who made that awful face? Well, I do see the resemblance.
She looks at you with sudden admiration.
All that matters is that the energies are retreating. I can already feel the curse lifting. It will be a long time until we're fully free of it, of course, but still.
Yep, we do have a long way to go to dismantle capitalism.
Thank you, officer. Truly, you've brought a better psycho-emanation to this humble bookstore, and that's no small achievement.
She so badly wants this to be over. She would have believed anything. It will only last a day or two, a week tops. Then her mood will sour and she will feel the curse again.
All right then. All's well that ends well. Should we return to our ordinary lives?
Certainly. But not before.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise. An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a pick-your-path adventure gamebook titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module.
$25.
Notes, a fantastic adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real.
It's a bit too rich for my blood. very close to a next level. Alright, first things first. Pay my rent, and then I'm gonna try and get that cloak now that I have more savoir-faire. Also, good.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real?
Yeah, 20 for real for the night.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow. Another thing. Great.
Nope, nothing.
Yes?
Yes, I did gain another level when I was talking to the dice lady, and I put it into unlocking a new slot for my thoughts. So I'm now pontificating on an actual art degree. It'll take an hour and 19 minutes on the game's clock to complete. While I'm thinking about it, I have -1 perception. But the bonus of these is, like, when you actually have them learned, like, this, when I was learning it, it was just +1 empathy towards Kim Kutsuragi. Then it gave me the +1 esprit de corps. This raised my perception learning cap to 5 from 4, and if I do speed, I get +1 psych. So, like, all of these do, like, yeah, some kind of super scar. I get -1 logic because it's the price of self-delusion, but my learning caps for being able to put skill points into those 4 skills is all gone up from 5 to 6. So, learning about thoughts can do some really good things for your stats, with sometimes a negative effect here and there. Yeah, well, you know, it's my thought whenever I see, like, actual, like, board games that I want to buy, like, you know, and I look at the Dark Souls board game, for example. I'm like, I would love to play that. Ooh, I do not have the money for that right now. Spend it on a video game instead, usually. Anyway, I have a jump to make. Some morale to heal. bit of visual glitching going on there.
The tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing.
Alright, 72% backed by physical instrument. So wait, if it's backed by physical instrument, what happens if I swap out to that?
The tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM
Nothing,
markings
really?
is still caught on the railing.
I don't know why Gart's face is still there, but yeah, sure, let's do it. Fuck! Still failing this roll. And I don't even have my cursed dice yet.
Nope, no. You could...
Hey, it's okay. You're just having...
The necktie lets go a little.
Good. We can always come back when you're feeling...
No, it's 72%. I should be able to do that. It's just gonna take a small bit of save scumming. Actually, this game I am playing off of Steam. I'm just using an Xbox One controller. Dark Souls I'm playing on PS4, though. But this game is available on PS4 as well. It's about... Last time I saw it, it was about $55. When I got it, it was on sale on Steam at like $25, but well worth the price. It's a fantastic game.
The tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing.
Yes! Finally.
As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses.
Close your eyes. Let your senses take in the world around you.
Ankles tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ears. You are ready for your rendezvous with the concrete pavement below.
He's so on the money, Bratan! Just imagine yourself dual-wielding a bottle and a flaming cigarette whilst airborne!
Oh, I should have, like, had a smoke and had a drink first, just for the fuck of it. Oh, well.
As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive, alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline.
Hell yeah. My climbing might not have been as disco as your jump, but can we still get an ace's high?
With your feet
Damn
firmly
right we can.
planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor rushes back in.
+1 esprit de corps and +1 shivers. Collecting rainwater. All around you, machines and quiescence. These 3 packs worth of cigarette butts. Numerous empty bottles of Commodore Red and potent Pilsner.
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Wait, how hard?
Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes. It must have been pretty hard.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
Looks like I had a lot of fun. I must have been in an advanced scouting mission at the harbor.
Yes, this looks pretty advanced, alright. For now, let's just move on.
This is the Night Watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
So this is where Renee works. I'm gonna have a look around. Take a seat, have a rest. We've never met this René Arnaud, so this might give us an edge.
If you must. But please hurry, we are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table. Looks like the inhabitant is rather pedantic when it comes to order.
Let's get going. The entire neighborhood can see us up here.
The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons.
Search for a little something to help you out.
The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers. They are slightly out of date.
Kim, would you mind if I help myself to some meds?
I'm not here to tell you what to do, detective.
You take the painkillers. They are yours now.
Ooh, that was a good little cache.
Oh boy, where to start? Elevated risk of dementia, mini strokes, prophet's disease, sudden death, hair death, erectile malfunction, critical flatulence, watery blood, black mucus, uncontrollable weeping, increased sensitivity to La Opera, inoperable joint disorder, total spinal collapse.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming with the thing that wrecked me, you're referring to failing the jump roll first. Yes, that was 1 morale damage for like doubting myself, a 2nd morale damage for like embarrassing myself for failing the jump, and the health damage came from the fact that my inland empire is high enough that my necktie, as I'm sure you've noticed, is sentient, and it choked me. That's where the physical damage came from on that when you fail that roll. But hey, succeeding this roll got me. Now I no longer have to figure out how to punch out a giant racist. I'm already up here.
Maybe this was a bad idea.
Maybe
you
it
stand
was.
and exit the booth.
And maybe it was a bad idea, but you know what? I am
Yes?
a plethora of bad ideas. However, yeah, I think I am going to spend that skill point. My volition could definitely be higher. But you know what? So could my endurance. And after all of the stuff that I've been doing... There. Yep, and upping my endurance gave me 1 extra hit point. So, I think I'm gonna dump some points into both endurance and volition as those govern HP. But, yeah. Critical flatulence is definitely a thing to watch out for. All those side effects were great, though. But yes, it is just after 2. I have some stuff to do tomorrow, and I think I'm going to end this stream here. Thank you very much to everyone who tuned in to catch some of this here live. Shoutouts to you, the Jew Kashu, for having a nice long talk, and to Wilkirch for sounding off in this chat as well. Anyway, I think tomorrow I am going to be going back to some Dark Souls, unless I fail to procure alcohol, in which case it'll be more Disco Elysium. And now that we're up on the wall behind the, now that we're actually in the Wild Pines facility, I could probably sneak around and try and find Everard Clare and have a discussion with him. But that is all for next time. And until then, y'all stay safe. You have a great night. Drink responsibly. And thank you as well, again, the Jukashu. I'm happy to stream for y'all, and it is a pleasure to have y'all with me. And until next time, y'all take care. Good night.